You could say I have agoraphobia. But I'm out there every day, like, walking around. I go do stuff. I go eat. I'm poor, so I go eat at homeless shelters sometimes because I run out of food. If you judge me based on how much money I have, I'm a democratic socialist, so, fuck you. I'm not really into your classism. There's so many poor guys that have hot girlfriends that you saying anything to me about that makes you look like a fucking moron and a dickbag. So we're not going to get into this conversation with you petite bourgeoisie, oligarchy, pieces of shit towards the poor. You're Democrats. Goddamn act like it. Republicans, I probably wouldn't date one anyway because they're mean. Have you ever met... Listen, Democrats, have you ever met a nice Republican chick? Exactly. They're either stupid rednecks or they're money-grubby whores. Any Democrat that acts like that is not worthy of time. I don't really like uptight chicks. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of guys do. So, if you're a chick and you're into me and you don't make eye contact, I don't really have any way to really know if I can trust you. If you're with your boyfriend and you're looking at me, I don't know if I should talk to you or not, because you're looking at me and smiling, and in my mind, you're flirting, and flirting is cheating. Maybe you should be with your boyfriend and not smiling and looking at me. Because I'm a guy, I'll hit on you. Or I'll just ignore you so I don't cockblock that dude. It's called being integritous. But I mean, if you don't like him for whatever reason, I'm here to listen. But I'm a guy, so it's like, if you want to bitch about your boyfriend, that's fine. But what I'm going to say to you is, that's fine, but you should maybe dump him and be with me. Because I'm not going to treat you like shit. And I'll listen to you. But I mean, you put me into a situation where it's like 5 girls and you expect me to talk to them. I could probably do that with ease better than talking to a bunch of guys. But at the same time, if I'm talking to like 5 chicks, I have to be able to hear what they're saying. So a bar or a nightclub is probably not going to be the best situation, because I'm there to listen and have a conversation. If you want to be my friend and introduce me to one, that's a better situation, because the chances of me and her, sorry, that's foul English, her and I hooking up is much, 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 much greater if you introduce her to me and it's a one-on-one conversation. Otherwise, I have to pick which one of the 5 chicks that I'm talking to, and then 4 chicks are left behind, or I take them all. And I got a small apartment, classes. My house is like a room, my apartment is the size of a coffin. And there's all these guys around me, and all these people in this apartment. There's like 40, 50 people in this apartment complex. They all got small, tiny apartments, and a lot of them are pretty swag with the women and have a lot of chicks. And there's a lot of dudes dating girls that are like 10 or 20 years younger than them. So don't go there with me, okay? Prove it. You're like, prove it, but then you're saying it's... Oh, but taking pictures of women without their permission is creepy. What do you want? Do you want proof, or do you want me to be creepy? Dumb shit. I'm not going to do either. You're an asshole towards me. I don't have anything to prove to you. Just accept it on faith. Sound familiar, theist? So I'm not going to do that. And I don't have I have social anxiety things. So, like, me asking permission to take pictures of girls, probably not going to happen. I don't really want to get drunk because I say stupid things when I'm drunk. Like, we should love everybody. But you introduce me to one chick and she makes eye contact with me. Good, golden situation. If it's like 5, then I gotta pick one. That's why I don't really roll up the chicks IRL, because it's like, then I gotta pick one. And I don't have really the room to fit a dozen girls. It's an easy situation. You hook me up and you're my friend. If you don't, you're not my friend. You're just some ghost out there. Not a fucking misogynist. Where's your proof of that? Oh, because I've called women bitches before? You've never seen that 70s show? I've called dudes bitches. You fucking whore! You've never seen that 70s show. I normally don't do that. I don't even drop the N-word all that often. Sometimes I do it just to like remark upon how people drop the N-word all the time, and then I start dropping it as a joke. See, jokes are what happened when people weren't offended by everything. See, to me that's why Generation Z is kind of cool, because they're not as offended by everything. Generation Z realizes that shit that's offensive is not really all that bad. Trump says offensive things all the time. It's not the offensive things he says, it's the offensive things he does that affects people's lives. You know, pollution. You need to concentrate on the pollution in the air. And the fucking, like, social justice issues of people not being paid enough when they're women. Or, like, how black people are still treated like secondary citizens. Or how teachers aren't paid enough. Not because somebody says retard every once in a while. Yeah, that is ableist and it is rude. And we probably shouldn't do that. But what else are you going to call Trump supporters but retards? You know what I mean? So, you know, it's not that big of a deal. If you say okay boomer to me, I'm just going to say okay millennial to you, knowing full well that you're a zoomer. Just because. You know? Fire gets fire. But we should really move past all of that. What I'm saying is, if you want to be my wingman and hook me up with a chick to talk to, then that's one thing. If you don't send me a video or you don't do it IRL, why the fuck would I believe you? I'm an anti-theist. Faith has no part in my life. It shouldn't. Faith shouldn't have any part in anybody's life. You go to school, you write a essay, you have to show your fucking sources. If I was ever in a theology class and somebody said, prove the non-existence of God, and you're going to be in a debate with somebody who has a paper on the existence of God, all I would write on the paper is there's no evidence. Where's your sources? Source 1, take it on faith. The real world functions on evidence. Every job you have, everything outside of your religion, which is 99% of your day, including your work life and your home life and your family life and your friend life, is all based on proof and evidence. Otherwise, nobody's going to believe you. You know, if I said leprechauns control a giant clock that controls the universe, you would look at me like I'm crazy, even if I threw some unicorns that pull the pulleys back and forth. But if it doesn't apply to God, the magic sky daddy, then who's the fucking retard? You! There's no fucking God, okay? There's no need for it. How did the universe happen? Oh, I don't know. When you put cookies and milk out for Santa Claus, who eats them? Santa Claus? Please do not be stupid. If you want to call me an ableist, I don't care, but I will probably block you. Because you're the exact same people that would call me a creeper, you age-phobe bigots. I'm not here to listen to a bunch of people making claims without evidence. And I'm not a dangerous dude. Dangerous people are people that can go it alone. And that's why they call them dangerous. I don't know why people that go it alone are called dangerous. I'm not a violent person. I don't own any weapons. I haven't been in a physical altercation with another human being. since high school, and that was like 20 years ago. I'm not someone who yells at people. I'm usually the calmest guy in a church or any kind of setting with any other person. I'm the listener. I'm the friend. I'm the guy that, all this shit happens and I'm like the eye of the storm. But I clearly would like friends. Like I said, my apartment complex, there's all these guys in relationships with much younger women. It's clearly not a bigot complex. You there judging us for being poor makes you look like a stupid person. Feel the burn, but fucking guys with more money than us? I'm glad Bernie's gonna win because we're sick and tired of the money and power. You running your mouth at us makes you look like Republicans. Don't like it? Maybe don't fuck guys only that have cars. All of us in this apartment complex have an EBT card. And there's like 50 of us. And there's like tons of these apartments around Spokane. I am not here to listen to idiots without evidence. I'm not here to have my chops busted by a bunch of bourgeoisie and petite bourgeoisie dicks. And I'm not here to listen to a bunch of people who are offended by everything. Or people who claim to be my friends when they're throwing offensiveness at me. That's not friendship. But I guarantee you, if you introduce me to one chick between 18 and 24, I will be able to have a conversation with her. I will be able to have a conversation if it's like 20 women, but at the same time I have to choose one. See, that's why I don't get into these conversations in public, because, if you ignore one girl, the other girl gets mad. Send me a video, hook me up IRL so I can have a conversation with the girl and get to know her as a person. Don't steal, don't cockblock like she's property, you misogynistic pigs. And don't be all extroverted and like, oh, your extroversion gets the chick. And don't be like one of these chicks that won't make eye contact with me. Or don't be that chick that whenever your dude friend makes me laugh, you go with that guy, so I have to be on fire again. I don't care if somebody is black, white, Latin, a Christian, a little overweight, or not. It doesn't matter to me. But if she's not 18 to 24, she's not fertile. And I want that option. It's like you buy a four-wheel drive truck. It's like you're not always going to be going up a hill in four-wheel drive. But if the situation occurs, it's good to have four-wheel drive. I don't need to say any more than that. That is an allegory. And if you don't like allegories, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time being pedantic and explain this shit to you. It's obvious. I want the option. At that point, it's her decision. Because I'm not a fucking misogynist.